Hey, the thought is not so good, but inshallah, I'll try to manage. And we have almost 3 topics to cover, right?
Balance.
5,422. So today I'm going to cover 2 of the topics, 5,000 and 4. 4 is a very small topic. It is relevant to NFPA 3.
Okay.
Most common, you can, if you refer 3 and 4, you can see many common terms. Even in definitions and many common terms, you can refer in 3 and 4. 4 is a very small term. Maximum you can expect only 1 question. So NFPA 5,000, it's a very important topic. Like 101, NFPA 5,000 is a very vast topic. If you open it, I think nearly 1,000 pages or 700 pages or
1,000
pages for NFPA 5,000. Many pages, I think 600, 700, more than that much pages. But for our point of view, because it's common for civil, electrical, mechanical,
includes only.
yeah, including
Our part
is very less. Our
can manage which page to page.
I will tell you the sections. So that will help you. You don't have to worry about what fire alarm and construction, because it deals with all these things. It's like a mother of all. So it starts from the construction, from footings to installation of all the systems. So our part will be this. We will try to cover only whichever is required for our exam pattern. Okay. So let's start with 4. 4 is a very small topic. So standard for integrated fire protection and life safety system testing. So NFPA 3, in the last class we have dealt with commissioning of this. Commissioning in sense, it's integration of all the systems. Fire alarm, sprinkler systems, ACMB, all the systems are integrated and work together in the commissioning systems. Similarly, for NFPA 4, standard for integrated fire protection and life safety systems include all these things. Okay. So, as we are dealing with all other NFPA, we have to concentrate on definitions. These are all the some odd definitions. I'm not giving you all the repeated definitions. You can see many repeated definitions like J, shall, laws, regulations. All these are repeated definitions. I'm not dealing with this. I'm just giving you the odd ones. Okay. So we have definitions. Acceptance test. Test performed on an individual systems to verify compliance with the approved design documents and to verify installation in accordance with the applicable laws. So they will give you the definitions. I'm not reading all this stuff. Just these are all some of the importance of this. Basis of design. So they will give you the definitions and they will ask you what is the.
Is this definition they are going to give a state or they will?
No, they will not give you.
The definition and the choose which one.
No, definitions, you cannot see the same sentence there.
They will not manipulate.
You have to understand. They will give you the similar, almost the same. These they will not change. Okay, they will change some words with the same meaning.
Okay. Should they understand the meaning?
Yeah, you have to understand the meaning and even some definitions like this, even for test, we will suffer. You cannot identify whether they are asking for the test or frequency. So each definitions are more or less similar.
Then how we can identify the test and frequency like that?
You have to read this and understand the meaning of it.
It's mostly will be the with NFPA 4,
3, 4, and NFPA 25.
definitions.
Yeah, NFPA 25 you can see the frequencies and maintenance ITA. Yeah, in that also you can see these definitions of the test. So these are all some of the odd definitions. Here you can see control test group, end-to-end integrated system test, integrated test, pre-functional test, interface, critical operations. Now this comes under the emergency power supplies, COPs. This is one of the important questions. I think it was COPs, the source of electrical power of the required capacity and quality for an emergency power supply system. We think it was on NFPAs only because it is regarding their system, right? Parallel system. But it is actually, if ever some questions related to these types of electrical systems, you can refer 3, 4, 5,000. Okay, that will have the electrical systems.
And you told from the QCD standards also.
QCDD standards, there is a fire alarm annexure. In that fire alarm also you can. If electrical questions also, those questions are come, this comes under the common NFPs for all of us. There are 4 common NFPs, that is 3, 4, 5,000. And these are all, yeah, these are all common for ACMP, fire alarm, and for mechanics. I mean, 4 NFPA are common for all. So test plan. Test plan will have the following checklist. It is for a new system, the minimum requirements for a test plan shall include the following: return verification that the integrated system and its individual systems have been installed in accordance with the approved design documents. This will not tell you that whether this design is correct or not, but it will verify that as per the design, as we have seen on NFPA. List of the individual systems are to be tested. Documentation for individual systems are required by the application codes and standards. Integrated test team and additional, this is called ITA, integrated test A for agents. IT, they are commonly named as ITA, integrated test agents. Okay, they are the one who will conduct the test. It will have a team for fire alarms, sprinkler systems, and AC. It is a team of all these systems. So integrated test team and additional entities required to be in the attendance, equipment required for testing, comprehensive functional matrices depicting all systems input and associated output functions, list of necessary drawings, including ISO drawings and control systems, narrative descriptions of the test scenarios, including what is needed for record of completion to document approval by AHJ or QCDD. The extent of system should be tested under the direction of IT. You can see this. Integrated test agents. Test schedule, including individual systems, periodic integrated systems, test schedules. So these are all the things we have to plan prior to the starting of the test. Okay. Only if all these items are clear, only then we have to execute for the test. So integrated test shall not endanger the following: building occupants. It will not tell you what type of building occupants it is. It will not ask.
Endanger, what means?
Shall not endanger means it will not
No need.
worry. It will not care about.
Care about. No need.
No.
This follow on.
Yes. The personnel conducting the test, the building, its contents and operations. It will not care about whatever it is. Okay? As per the design, it is there. That is the only function of NFPA 3 and 4. So test methods. Test scenarios shall include the events and combination of events, including but not limited to. So these are all the important terms, but it's not limited to only this. Loss of normal power. They will test you if there is any power loss, the emergency power supply is working or not. And water flow. For the sprinkler systems, the proper water flow is available or not, and presence of smoke. If there is any presence of smoke, the detector is working or not. So these are all the main things they will test in the event of any risk or any fire happens. So during the integrated testing, equipment shall be tested in accordance with the applicable system standard to verify systems performance according to their design functions. Okay? They will not care about any of the things about the business. Integrated testing of data sharing systems shall document the following. So once the testing is done, we have to document all these things. Completion of acceptance testing for each component systems. Verification of data transfers between the component systems. That is in the panel, if all the systems are interrelated and working on. Means if there is any incident of fire, the AC have to cut down. So it is working or not, and the ventilation have to be properly working, and the sprinkler have to automatically started in the event of let's say one command or two command based on this sprinkler system. So each data transfer is happening in PLC system or not. We have to verify. Test of visual and audible signal upon loss of communication. So if there is any supervisory control, like in a high-rise buildings, there will be a supervisory control. So they have to communicate from a remote area. They will be communicating and they will direct it. It's working on that. Test of degrade mode for each component system. Proper functions of integrated data sharing system. So these are all the testing systems that shall have the documents once the testing is being completed. Before handovering, these are all the documents we have to submit it before the during the submission of hand. So integrated test frequencies. So test frequencies shall have the following things. That is, there are three types of testing. One is upon installation. One, after the installation is done, we will do the entire test. Then it will be periodically. There is a testing frequency for each of the systems. We have studied on NFPA 25, right? And all the ports, there is an ITM, inspection, testing, and maintenance. There is a frequency for all the testings. So that shall be done during the that is integrated testing shall be done periodically based on the schedule. And upon existing system modification, if you done the system modification that we have studied on NFPA 13, if I believe, that is, if one sprinkler is being replaced, we don't have to perform this, right? So test shall be performed when 13 sprinklers are changed. 20 sprinklers, yes, 20 sprinklers are being replaced in the system. In sense, that comes under the modification of existing systems. So if such modifications are being done, we have to do the integrated testing again, not only for the hyper testing. So existing system modifications, all changes shall be tested as required by the applicable individual system standards. In addition to non-changes, 10% up to a maximum of 15%, 50 devices performing the unaffected input functions of each integrated system that has been changed shall be tested to verify correct operation or non-operation of the other integrated systems. That is either 10% or up to, if we change the 50 devices in a system, then we have to perform the integrated testing. So this is
last one means 50 device.
Yes.
Up to a maximum of 50 device.
10% up to a maximum of 50 devices.
Is 10% or 50?
Yes,
device?
yes.
So
50 device, 50, not 50%.
no, 10% of the system
Or
or
50 devices.
50 device of system. For example, 50 device, if I change
You have to perform the
integrated
integrated test. Okay. So this is a small topic. You can expect maximum one question from this. So we are about to start in the PA. Before going to that, these are all the sum of the acceptance test box. They will not ask anything in the exam regarding this. First, just for your general understanding. Each systems we have separate forms. This is for AC.
same in this picture.
Smoke test, yes.
Smoke control system.
Smoke control system acceptance. So it will tell you who conducted the test, who is in which years. So parallel and mechanical. All this, as we discussed, ITA teams. These are all the ITA teams. Okay, integrated testing agents. So it have general contractor, fire alarm, mechanical systems, balancer, electrical, commissioning agent. So all these persons have to be there and they have to sign. Then they will check the ambient conditions. So exhaust fan it is working or not, open and closing. So how is the pressure is being maintained, and how is the pressure valve, stair wall pressurization systems work? How is the ventilation works? So all the stuff they will check. For AC, and similarly for fire protection and life safety systems. So here you can see they are checking integrated test for all the systems. This is just for your understanding. There will not be any questions to that. So let's start NFPA 5000. NFPA 5000 named as in building construction and safety. So unlike NFPA 101, it will not only concern about the life safety, it will also be concerned about the building construction. It will not, it will start from the construction phase. All other phase, you can see the installation, testing on the all this. But in 5000, it starts from the construction. So what? Yeah, it will start from what are the basements or footings, or how much is the fire rated wall required. It will start from the construction. So NFPA 5000 covers a wide range of topics related to building design, construction, fire protection systems, life safety, and means of reference. These are all the important areas it will cover. And NFPA 5000 series is intended to be used as a comprehensive resource for architects, engineers, builders, code officials, and other professionals involved in the design, construction, and maintenance of buildings. Aims to establish minimum requirements to safeguard life, health, property, and public welfare by addressing the fire and related hazards in the buildings and structures. So, if even in NFPA 5000, if you see for each separate sections, like sorry, if it is for sprinkler systems, some of the tables and the reference will be given to NFPA 30. So this NFPA 5000 is related to all other codes. Okay, all other codes comes under this NFPA 5000. Building construction safety codes does not apply to existing building unless they undergo some level of building rehabilitation and an addition if the building damaged or relocated, or if it is undergoes a change in use. NFPA 5000 focuses more on construction and design of new buildings. Only new. Applicable to every occupancy type and building use, 5000 presents the latest requirement for construction protection and occupancy features needed to safeguard. So it will cover all the property, life safety, and public welfare. So it will cover all these topics. The buildings that have been officially authorized, which means they are designed and permitted according to previous editions of the code, can remain in their original state. Once they undergo any of the changes above, they are required to comply with the most of the recent version. This question you can expect from. This is the one we have discussed, right? Something. Okay. So, if if a building, as we discussed in the previous page, that this is mainly for the new buildings. So if you are making any changes to the existing building,
Revision 0, revision or some modification come.
if any modification comes to the buildings,
in the
then we have to
time,
most recent version of NFT.
The remaining also we need to be to like the most.
No, let's say,
Our work, what we are doing, that part only we need to do based on this.
no, actually, let's say, if you have designed, based in 2018, you have designed a building. Based on NFPA 5000, you have designed and planned to construct a building on 2018. The work extends and you are in 2020. Okay? You are making any changes to the design. So you are not subject to refer to the 2018 NFPA code of 5000. Instead, you have to refer the latest version of the NFPA. Yeah. So, for example, NFPA 5000 includes a requirement for newly constructed 1 or 2 dwellings buildings to include the automatic sprinkler systems for flood protection. This requirement was first stated on 2006 edition and remains in the most recent 2021 edition. Therefore, NFPA 5000 is adopted. Any homes that have been officially authorized prior to 2006 adoption would not require a retrofit to add automatic sprinklers. So if it is designed before 2006, but actually it is not applicable to perform any modification. If it is a modification, you have to refer for the
2021.
yes, latest version. Key areas covered by 5000. It will tell you building construction types and materials, means of address. Means of address is an important topic. For sure, you can expect 3 or 4 questions from this topic.
From this 5000 or?
No, 101 is
Like six,
101 is and even 10, 13 also you can expect small topics of means of address. Okay.
In 1013 also there is means of admission.
Means of address means in the address area, what are the type of fire extinguishers areas and what are the type of, so it will also cover some of the, but means of address mainly comes from in 101. And even I think 25, 24 is the 24 is also,
Portable layer.
no, private service lane. Yeah, in that topic also.
Private means branches, main lines, sprinkler.
No, it is not regarding that.
Private main for the branches,
It is for private connections.
private connections.
So in that system also you can expect that this means of this.
In 13 we didn't cover means of aggression, no?
13, no, 13 we don't.
We only covered, we started this aggression with 1011.
No, 24 we have.
No, in your sites, I think 1011 is covered.
No, I think 24 is also.
Exit pathway.
Yeah, exit pathway and detailed in 10. Just detailed in 10.
It will be completing the same thing, no?
Yeah.
Anywhere, if it comes also, it will be the same,
Yes.
same subjects.
But in more detail, they will, if you are identifying an hazard group or occupancy level, then it will differ. If it is a light occupancy level, there must be 2 means of address, but it depends on the occupancy level. There will be additional occupancy level means of address like ramps or other things. That depends on the occupancy level and hazard. So fire protection systems include fire alarms, sprinkler systems, and fire extinguishing systems. Fire resistant construction and fire resistant materials. That's why this code is mainly important, because it comes under design, and if you are installing a fire rated doors, that you can change. But for the construction phase, you cannot change it, right? So it should be started from design and construction.
From beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. So that's why this 5000 is important. Special occupancy requirements, example, high-rise buildings, assembly occupants and hazard occupancies. So it will add accessibility and life safety for people with disabilities, building maintenance and inspection provisions. So we have seen this on 101, the same classification of occupancies. There are many types of occupancies. Few of them are assembly occupancies. The area where the people gather in some occasions, but they will not stay there for more time, like party functions or restaurants. Those areas they will come and they will. So that comes under assembly occupancies and educational occupancies. That is 6 or more persons for 4 or more hours per day, or 12 hours, more than 12 hours per week. That will be considered as educational occupancies. And daycare occupancies, that is which 4 or more clients receive care, maintenance and supervision by other than their relatives or legal guardians for less than 24 hours per week. That is, they are not admitting there, they are coming, checking and that is like clinic. Okay. So healthcare occupancies where physical or mental disability or because of security measures not under occupants control. That is, they cannot do by themselves. Those comes under healthcare occupancies. Ambulatory health occupancies and detention and correctional occupancies. These are all the things we have already seen on 0. Right? I'm not repeating this. So residential occupancies is being divided as 1 or 2 dwelling systems, lodging and rooming houses, hotels, dormitory, apartment buildings, and worker type. So classification of occupancies, business, industrial, storage, multi-occupancies, mixed occupancies, and separate occupancies. Business occupancies we have seen, right? And industrial occupancies we know, deal with the machines and equipment. Storage occupancies, it's regarding warehouses. Multiple occupancies, it's 1 or 2 types of occupancies. Okay. On separate, that will be separated. But for mixed occupancies, that will not be separated, only with the separation of the wall. And separated occupancies are, all the occupancies are. So classification of contents. Classification of hazard of contents. Light hazard occupancies, ordinary hazard, extra hazard, and commodity classifications. So why is this classification actually required? If we don't know the classifications of hazard, then how we will design the sprinklers, right?
Yes.
We cannot design a sprinklers for ordinary hazard to extra hazard. That depends. That's why. So proper classification of the hazard is critical because without this, fire sprinkler systems cannot be properly designed. A design based on an improper classification can negatively impact the sprinkler systems in such key areas as the type of sprinklers required, the sprinkler spacing requirements, and proper determination of the system in demand. Self-explanatory, right? So occupancy examples in the listed as shown in the various hazard classification represent the occupancy types are intended to norm photos. Unusual or abnormal fuel loadings or combustible characteristics and susceptibility for changes in these characteristics for particular occupancy are considerations that should be weighed in the selection of classification. So the main aim of this classification is to know the hazard level. Only based on that hazard level, we can design the entire systems. So proper classification of a fire hazard is critical to the overall success of the sprinkler systems. Determination of the type of occupancy systems, design and installation considerations such as sprinkler discharge criteria, sprinkler spacing, and water supply requirements. So operation of a given facility can vary significantly and change the overall fire hazard. The potential fluctuation in daily and long-term building operations must be determined and properly addressed when designing a new sprinkler systems or when evaluating the adequacy of existing sprinkler systems. This is the explanation for why we are classifying for this sprinkler systems. In the absence of specific hazard classification information from the responsible design professional, sprinkler contractor will need to go back to the design professional to confirm the hazard classification designation. Examples of typical occupancies are included for the informational purposes in the annexure to chapter 5 of 2013, but these should only be used where it can be confirmed that the building owner is not doing something unusual in their building. If we identify the hazard level, like this is all mercantile occupancies or educational occupancies, but the owner is giving this rent for a printing machine. So the hazard level changes, right? So the paint, if they are giving for a paint storage, the hazard level changes. So it is to be intended what is being for the identified hazard group, only that is to be used. For example, a building might be described as an office space, which would be considered as a light hazard. If the owner intended to include a high hazard operation in the space, such as printing and publishing area, ordinary hazard group 2, simply calling it light hazard because it is an office space would not be appropriate. So first, what we identified, and based on that sprinkler is being designed, only that is to be used. If you are making to another occupancy level, you have to redesign the sprinkler, and each sprinkler K values and all these steps will be changed. Light hazard occupancies. This we have seen in many topics, but I am still reminding you. Light hazard occupancies shall be defined as occupancies or portions of other occupancies where quantity and or combustibility of contents is low and fires with relatively low rates of fire release are expected. So the main function of this light hazard group occupancies is it will not fire by itself. It does not have the combustibility content is low and quantity of the combustibility is low rates of heat release. So light hazard, this all the areas considered the light hazard groups. Churches, clubs, educational institutions, hospitals, institutions, canals, museums, nursing, and commercial homes, offices, residential areas, restaurants, theaters, and unused ethics. So ordinary hazard group 1, spaces with moderate quantity and low combustibility of contents. So the stockpiles of contents with low combustible that do not exceed 8 feet or 2.4 feet. In this, you can expect 1%.
Again, this
Means if you are stockpile means like if you are dumping some material. Okay. If you are if you are putting paper in rack. Okay. So that's so. It should not be more than 2.4 meters. Okay. Stockpiles of contents with low combustible material that do not exceed 8 feet or 2.4 meters. That comes under the ordinary hazard group 1. So these are all the areas under ordinary hazard group 1: automobile parking and showrooms, batteries, beverages, canneries, dairy products manufacturing units, electronic plants, glass product manufacturing, laundries, restaurants, pottery coaches, mechanical works. So these are all the areas considered the ordinary hazard group 1. So in the ordinary hazard group 2, spaces with moderate to high quantity and combustibility contents are more. Okay. So stockpiles that do not exceed 3.7 meter with the low of contents with the high rates of heat release do not exceed 2.4 meter. These are all the criteria to identify this as an ordinary hazard group 2. So these are all the areas under ordinary hazard group 2: agricultural facilities, cereal mills, chemical plants, dry cleaners, libraries, machine shops, metal working, mercantile,